rhythm. On the beat. On the beat. On the beat.
Woo! What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at My Cowboys Family, and of course, hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below.
Yep, we're here. We're
Thank
back.
you so much to everybody here for your patience. We definitely expected to have this live stream a little sooner than you're seeing it here in front of you. But the internet said, hold up, wait a minute. So thankfully we do have internet back. We've gotten everything,
I'm
back
feeling
online.
a lot better, and,
Thank goodness.
to be able to talk about Cowboy football, like, what I'm saying. But we left you off on, after the big, I'd say big victory. We won. We beat the Giants. But it was an ugly game, 20-15.
And, of course, a lot of injuries to discuss.
Yes, we're going to recap the game, but, of course, the injuries are the bigger story right now going forward. But there's a couple good things as the next team on our sites. Yeah, we're done with the Giants, but now we got to get the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they're next, and Mazi's ready. We'll talk about this and more. But, baby, before we get going, let's talk about the family here, representing the board. I know we only had 2 streams last week, the hurricane, a cold. All these things combined to make it tough to kind of do the third stream. So tonight's the finale for this past week.
That's
Keep that in mind. So it might be an important day for people to take over boards. Who knows? So here it is, and you can see at the bottom there, right above the Giants, the sponsor of the week. It is none other than John Luna. Big shout out to John Luna, who I don't even know if I don't think he's a Cowboy fan, but he just loves the channel. So appreciate you, John. Thank you. Sponsor of the week, first time ever. Also, first time ever, he's the membership gifting champion. If you're in the membership, you can gift memberships to randomly to people to get the navy blue. And by the way, we do have the new Pittsburgh emojis. So if you're if you're at any level of the membership, navy blue, silver, star over everything, drop it like it's hot shit, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them to kind of get enjoyment of laughing over them. Hopefully, we defeat them this Sunday. And I know real shit's dwelling somewhere. You guys know who that is. Some of you guys know who that is. Anyways, big shout out to John Luna, not just as the sponsor of the week and the membership gifting king, but he's got 45 points on the stream boss. So the name of this past week has been John Luna, representing all our boards here, except for the Cash App side, which is the man Jet Lee 44. He's back to backing it, or about to back it again, a 90s Cowboy, because he's got the lead this week as well. So Jet Lee 44 may go like our 90s Cowboys did. big shout out to him on that side. You see, look right above his name right now. You see number 1, first place, Mark Hovsepian, currently in line to get that sponsor of the week. John Luna's right behind him. Jet Li not far behind. So that battle continues tonight. It will be resolved. And membership gifting, go back up to Jet Li 44 because he dropped one. I think it was him that dropped it. Yeah, it was. I dropped it the other day, and Jet Li 44 is currently the only person that dropped this week. So that means he is the gifting leader. And he's trying to take it away from John Luna there. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, there's the introductions on that. There's also different ways of dropping love and support for the channel, whether it is in this super chats here with YouTube or the thanks button through YouTube, the membership that people can jump into in any level. And again, I got to shout out a couple people here who jumped back into it, like Big D, who jumped back into the membership side of things, into the Navy Blue Crew side, and a couple others I think are going to be jumping in soon here as we get to the first of the month of October. Mm-hmm. So thank you guys again for repping it on the membership side. And when you're in the membership, gifting is big, and John Luna showed that last week. Big shout outs there again. But the membership gifting side, different ways to give love, but there's also other ways. We kind of do it on the After Dark sessions. Yeah. Right, we go on that side of things, and it is 4 ways outside of YouTube to support the channel.
You have, of course, the Cash App, money sign, MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, of course, and last but not least, the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen like a super chat would.
Yes. And again, guys, we do. Everyone has perks on every level of memberships, but when you go to the star and over everything level, you guys are automatically entered into a jersey raffle. It's sewn and stitched jersey, all sizes, all different players for the Cowboys, different years. You go old school or new school, and again sewn and stitched. They are authentic, and they are fantastic. We own like 50 of these combined, through the whole family together, and so a lot of choices, a lot of different styles, men, women, and children sizes as well. So every star level gets 1 entry for this, and over everything level member gets 2 entries, for 2 raffle entries for this, and the weekly winner, whoever that may be, you don't have to even be in the membership. If you're a weekly winner like John Luna, not in the member, actually he's in the star level membership, he's got an entry, but then he also has a weekly winner membership there. Raffle entry, so that again he's now upped his chances to win this. Chill Pill has 2 of them. Chill Pill has 2 because of Over Everything. She has 2 in them, and then she has another one she won. So she's got 3 chances there to win, while others in the star have 1. But it's a monthly raffle jersey. Appreciate everybody who's in that, and we also shout out those in the star and Over Everything level of the membership every single night.
That's right.
So, baby, why don't you give them shout outs?
Thank you very much to Skeptical Fan, Jet Li 44, LC, John Luna, and Over Everything, Chill Pill.
You know it. And Chill Pill's been rocking it big time on the After Dark session. Extra special shout out to her. She's presenting another month of MCF After Dark. 3 months in a row over there. 3 months in a row.
Yes, and fingers crossed as well. We can get the man, Mr. Seabass, on here.
Yes.
For his Over Everything monthly representation here. So can't wait, and hopefully we have lots of positive things to discuss. Hopefully later this week, about our Cowboys and more. And again, for just a little side note for Chill Pill, again, she is in the Over Everything level, so if she doesn't have to, but if she wants to come on here and talk whatever Cowboy football, you're more than welcome to jump on here and let us know, whatever you'd like to speak on when it comes to our Cowboys. So big shout outs to Chill Pill on multiple different fronts here. But I also want to shout out, because we did skip our Fan Friday. So let me give the shout out to those in the silver level as well. A. Lavelle, 50 months in the membership, the longest membershipper here. Mm-hmm. We also had, who's not far behind, again, Top Dog Bay Bullies, but that's, a.k.a. Dwayne Broussard. Big shout outs to him. Yes, the Top Dog. And the Q-Man. Justin Quarles, the Q-Man. Big shout outs to him, of course, always been on here from day one. So big appreciation to all levels. If you're in Navy Blue, drop those emojis. Everyone gets a chance to. We'll get into the Cowboy news here in a moment. But before we do that, how about them shout-outs? Who's in the house? Of course.
Tonight, talking some Cowboy football with the family.
You got to shout out the man, C. Bass.
Hey, yeah.
What's up? Hello and hi. Much love. We have Scorpio in the house representing. James Herr, hello and hi. Let me see. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, what's up? We have Chris Plumage in the house. Always go Cowboys. Donnie Collins, what's up? Yeah, I wish we didn't need the long-time fans to feel the same way, but it's been a long time, hasn't it? Frank Moyer, hello and hi. That is horrible. Again, guys, we were very, very lucky, very thankful that the hurricane did not impact our area as much as it was initially expected to or supposed to. Yeah. So we honestly are very thankful to be here, and none the worse for the wear.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people currently impacted
yes.
that we're not supposed to be, especially in the Georgia and North Carolina areas.
Yes.
Absolutely devastating. So
horrible. Asheville, other places, horrible.
You see, speaking of some representation, Pat Pfeiffer, what's up?
Hey,
nice to
Pat.
see you here.
In the After Dark hours, a little earlier.
Who's MCF After Dark? Who's that?
I don't know. Who is that? But by the way, Pat, I did receive your portion, so thank you for that. And she's all good, all paid up, and good to go when it comes to our After Dark fun that we have over there. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
We have Roberto Rodriguez, always Vamos Vaqueros. House Nelson in the house. Jared Jones said, "How about my team?" Freedom First was first. Always go Cowboys. Aztec Aguilera 04, much love to you. Let me see. So I think that's everyone here. I'll continue to do some shout outs as more people trickle in.
Yeah, let me just quickly talk about a couple NFL things. I don't even have it on the map to talk about. But today, of course, there were another doubleheader Monday Night Football games. The Titans upset. I would say upset. Maybe no Tua for the Dolphins. Titans beat the Dolphins 31-12. And the NFC there, the normal starting Monday Night Football game, the Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions, 3-0 Seahawks. They really weren't in the game too much in it. I mean, Geno Smith, they kept them in it. It ended at 42-29 as the final there. The Lions and Seattle are both now 3-1. But more importantly, the NFC East, of course, we beat the Giants 20-15. Nothing to be proud of, but we got the win, I guess.
A win is a win.
A win is a win, and we got two major injuries, but hey. But then you look at the other teams in the division, like the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Ooh, what had happened to them? Well, 33-16, they took the L against the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay, a game that maybe most people, even when the season started, would have never given the L to the Bucs to the Eagles on that one. So they took an L. Hurts played horrible. So they dropped to 2-2. They're tied with us.
Very funny because the one thing that's been going viral is that the one Eagles corner Slay, he was talking lots of crap, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna bring the belt to their ass" and all this stuff, and then he did not do that. So shout out to Micah, by the way, for having him on his podcast as they were laughing and cutting it up.
He took a lot of shit, though, for that.
Yeah,
right?
A lot of people did not like, because Micah was being real, right? And he did praise the Eagles for a few good things that they've got going on. And a lot of people felt like he was S in their D, so to speak.
S in their D.
I kind of saw it more as again, you're being realistic, but he just kind of let Slay expose himself, because if I'm an Eagle fan and I see my cornerback cutting it up, laughing it up with, an Eagle player, a rival player, acting like it's not a problem that he just performed that way, I'm bothered about the wrong thing there.
Yeah, so a little side note there on Micah.
Spoony Dog, what's up? Hello and hi.
Pat Pfeiffer, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the love you gave as well on the After Dark sessions. And by the way, you can see there's two different boards. The After Dark starting over today, by the way, and then there's the MCF MyCowboysFamily board here, which it's weekly. So I did want to also finish saying, we figured, hey, the Eagles are 2-2, we're 2-2, the Giants are 1-3. Well, the Commanders, they must have lost to the Cardinals, right? No, as you guys already know, they destroyed the Cardinals in Arizona. 42-14. The Cardinals dropped to 1-3, but the Commanders are now the leaders of the NFC East. So, Dan Quinn. A lot of our old guys there. Dan Quinn's making it to work when you get Bobby Wagner brought in the house. His guys, you actually work with Dan Quinn, shit gets done there. Interesting, right?
Yeah,
I wish Jerry Jones would learn that lesson, right?
I have to admit, I think a lot of people are surprised by what Washington has been able to do so far. So, definitely surpassed expectations.
They allowed 7 points in the first half and 7 points in the second half. That's it. They scored 42 with a rookie quarterback. So, just think about that for a second. You got the right coach and mentality. You get the right, but would he be able to do that as a Cowboys head coach? The answer is no. because Jerry Jones still has his hands involved. Over there in Washington, they're letting him run the show. They're letting him really have big influence in things and what's going on. They're getting him the guys he's asking for. No. That would never happen with the clown show. You and I, we all know that. But right now, maybe Dan Quinn has the secret sauce for right now. After 4 games, a little under a quarter of the season, Dan Quinn and his Commanders, first place in the NFC East. Cowboys and Eagles tied at 2-2. The Giants, bottom of the barrel right now at 1-2. Yeah, that's one of the teams we beat. Yeah, real shit. You got that right. Clown show for sure. Now, I wanted to continue kind of going into kind of moving on. And I know real shit can't wait to talk about his Pittsburgh Steelers, but we'll get to them.
He was a little early for that.
A little early. We're still gonna bring you into kind of, but maybe he's spying right now for the Steelers. He needs to know what's going on in Dallas. So, he wants to know. He wants to get a real good gauge of what he's going to be facing on Sunday afternoon. So, anyways, Cowboys. We know, as you can see, 20-15 victory over the Giants. That game, everyone here knows, even the Steeler fans know, the Cowboys are America's team. We're the team that everyone wants to be, see, and be part of. And it averaged 16.22 million viewers. That is an all-time high for Amazon Prime on Thursday Night Football. Of course, it's the Cowboys. Even in a shitty game full of referees, the main stars of this game, and the flags that were thrown, somehow that star gets 16.22 million viewers. All-time high. Amazon said it was the most streamed NFL regular season game in history.
Damn.
Think about that. Because remember, all the other games are not necessarily counted as. This is a fully streamed game. And when it comes to NFL regular season, is the number one streamed football game in history. And of course, it's the first one we've played, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the few. I think we played one during the COVID season, but it was against the Ravens and we got rocked. When it's the Cowboys and we got even a little bit of a shot, everyone's watching. So just so you guys know, a record audience basically endured an unwatchable, referee-filled show, basically, that put Al Michaels.
More like flag ball than football.
Yeah, flag ball is almost every play was a flag, and usually by us. If you were listening, Al Michaels, and we listen, you guys probably listen to us, not them. But Al Michaels was almost he was almost sleeping by the end. He was in a coma almost by the end of the game. Now, before this Thursday night game, before our Cowboys, there had been only 2 times in NFL history where a team that had the ball for 35 minutes of time of possession and 26 or fewer rushing yards has that's ever happened. No team has ever had 35 minutes of time of possession and only 26 or fewer rushing yards. That's only, again, the 3rd time in history. But the crazy part is, it's the first time a team lost after having that much time of possession and that little rushing yards. Yeah, so the first team to lose a game.
Hate to be that person, but that stat alone lets you know that it's not necessarily that we won that game. It's almost more like the Giants lost that game. Yeah, I
mean, I will say the other ones on the list were close to being losses for the teams that won. Again, you only have 26 rushing yards, so either your defense did great and you just didn't have to run. I don't know. You just did quick passes. It's maybe
Yeah, how are you in a scenario where you're winning but you're not running the ball? That's the weird, confusing part there.
That's why it's a rare stat. Oh snap! Harley, Dad. Hardly forgotten here on MC. He's on both sides of things here. He's on the After Dark end here, and he's in San Francisco. You know what I wanted to say, Harley Dad. San Francisco 49er fan dropping the 2-0. What did the man say with that $20 holler? And John Luna down to 25 points in the stream, boss.
He said, how about the mother frickin'
Cowboys. Yeah.
Just kidding. He said, how about them mother frickin' Niners? Thank you so much, Harley Dad. Appreciate you. Yeah. Even if you're repping the wrong team, I won't hold it against you.
Yeah, we do appreciate you big time. Harley Dad, he's a star on the After Dark and all the other channels out there.
He's like, damn, wrong channel.
Go Cowboys. That's what he wants to say. I appreciate you, Harley Dad. I'll get you up on that board. And he would actually be like, let me see here. I have to look it in here, but again, we had a quick week here. It's been a short week. He would be, I think, in 3rd place, if I'm not mistaken. There, right above Pat Pfeiffer. I think. Pat Pfeiffer. I think, was she in the lead? I think actually Pat Pfeiffer is in the lead in the Cash App side of things, not Jet Li 44. So I almost made a mistake there. I'm sorry, Pat Pfeiffer, if you're still listening. I want to make sure that's corrected. So Pat Pfeiffer is actually the current Cash App leader. Big shouts to the great Pat Pfeiffer.
By the way, Seabass said, "Bang Bang 69er gang, home of the proud unicorns."
The proud unicorns, huh?
Yes.
Huh.
So, Godless Manitoban, what's up? Hello and hi.
Godless in the
of
house.
course, yeah, Mr. Real Shit's in the chat, waiting. He's saying, "Come on, give me the info on your team. I want to know what's going on."
It's coming. Calm your ass down. He does the same thing. He wants to link all the time. I think he's even got. Doesn't he have a membership? I think.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So, by the way, Scorpio said we don't need those refs in a playoff game.
Playoffs. Pat Pfeiffer, by the way, I want to make sure.
I would say it depends on who's in the playoffs. If we're in the playoffs, no. If it's like the Eagles.
Oh shit, Harley Dad. He's a wait, what? Yeah, he's already a member here, right? That's what I thought.
No, that's really weird. Okay.
No, he's a member.
I've never seen that before, but he just gifted himself a membership. So I've seen it where sometimes My Cowboys Family gets gifted the membership. So congrats to yourself.
Wow.
But I think this is the first time I've ever seen a self-gifting. Congratulations to yourself, the Harley Dad. First of all, huge shout out there, showing the love to 5 awesome family members here, gifting 5 memberships.
Wow, much love to you, Harley Dad. Big
shout out. We have, Brandon James, Harley Dad, Queen and King, Teresa Stickle, and there's one.
What was that name? I'm sorry.
Teresa Stickle?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, that was another name I thought I heard. Okay, yeah.
Let me see. Oh, and it's Scorpio. There we go. Scorpio is the last person. I was like, where's the 5th? Thank you so much there, Harley Dad. Appreciate you. Yeah, that, like I said, I've never seen that before, but I guess it was the first time for everything.
Damn, I don't know. I hope it's not like a troll account that's rolling in under his name.
I don't think so, because it gave it to him. Like, I can see him in the chat with it's the same account. So with Brandon J. By the way, thank you so much.
$2 holler.
Appreciate you. Of course, he said go Chiefs or 4-0.
Ooh, boo! You said go Chiefs, baby. You can't do that.
Well, don't worry. They're not going anywhere. So, talk about another team that's been hit by the injury stick real bad. They basically have no offense outside of Patrick Mahomes. So, once again, we're about to see what this man is made of.
Yeah, Rashee Rice went down. He's gone for, looks like a while. And that's not good news for him or you guys. Now, by the way, I'm fixing the board
Harley
here.
Dad said I already had a membership. This one is for my lamp? What emoji is that? Is that a leg? What emoji is that? It's for his peg leg. Oh.
I guess. Yeah. I
get it. Okay. Man.
You don't know the
I don't know all your lore, all your inside jokes.
It's not even a joke. It's just the real shit makes fun of him about it, so that's why. He's very rude.
Real shit wouldn't know about a third leg, so that's fine.
Oh!
Sorry, wrong channel. Tyrone Church, much love. Appreciate you for chilling here and being with us. Man, I gotta take it easy here. So,
I know. I'm doing right now. What I'm doing here is catching up on.
I just don't remember what we left it off on as far as our breakdown of this Giants performance.
Okay. Yes. Well,
and I don't want to jump the gun and talk about something that you haven't talked about.
Of course, I just wanted to say that we have not. Basically, the Cowboys. All this stuff about the Cowboys, we held it together after allowing over 35 minutes of time of possession. But you can go ahead and kind of give what Jerry Jones' view of the game was. When it came to this thing. But I also wanted to say, in the middle of all of this, that in second place now, John Luna drops to third because in second place, it is Harley Dad.
Oh, there we go. Huge shout out to you.
Who jumps into second place right behind Marco Sepien. John Luna is actually behind Jet Li right now, if I'm not mistaken. And Jet Li is in third place with John Luna currently in fourth place. Justin Quarles in fifth. And then the rest of the crew there in a tie. I do have to also add in there the great Pat Pfeiffer.
That's right.
Who's also
I'll let you go ahead and do that.
So go ahead, baby. Hit it up.
I thought this was hilarious because Jerry man, the copium is strong here because he's trying to make the Giants sound like more than what they were. Saying, quote, I was very impressed with the Giants. I thought their quarterback was better than I thought he was.
Daniel Jones.
They were a tough matchup, and I was impressed. I thought we did a heck of a job defending their run. I'm tickled to death.
That's a Jerry Jones quote right there. But, didn't they just bench Daniel Jones? I could have sworn they just benched Daniel Jones.
That's what I'm trying to say. That I'm dying here at him saying, like, oh, their quarterback played better than I thought he would.
No,
that's
a backhanded compliment, obviously.
That's your big hoorah on, the Giants are actually a good team, like that, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's trying to make this win seem
that's clown
more significant than it is, and I'm not trying to downplay it because at the end of the day, you're right. A win is a win. There's no, close or maybes in football. You either won or you didn't. We did win. But like you said, at what cost? Mm-hmm. And part of it is, the fact that we only won by as much as we did and the way that we did. I mean, it's hard to feel extremely confident about what this means moving forward for our team, especially now that you consider the injuries along with that. Like, that's how we felt when we had what was the closest thing to a complete team that we could have. And now we're down 2 major defensive pieces for an undetermined amount of time. We'll get to that in a minute here. But the point is that we know we're going to be missing Micah. We know we're going to be missing Tank for a little while. And now we have to go play a team that is definitely looking better than the Giants. Let's put it that way. Because even I did not expect to say that about the Steelers this year, especially with some of their quarterback situations that were happening during the preseason and stuff. I have to be honest, I threw in that terrible towel before snap 1. You know what I mean?
We burned those towels, but yes, I know what you mean. We burned those terrible towels.
Look, you always want to keep a few extra towels and things like that for when, your dog pukes. We have
those, we do have
flood waters, you need a mop. Last minute mop, Ran out of toilet paper. There's lots of uses for the terrible towel.
Yes. So that's partially why it's terrible. Anyways, Jerry Jones, again, sitting on clown showery right there.
Yeah, and Tyrone Church, he said, who do you think is going to be the edge rusher that we work out? If you're going by Stephen Jones, it's going to be no one.
Well, it's the guys we have on this team.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to that here. Actually, in a second, I just can't believe I got to say one last little note here, which is it's incredible, and this is about Dak Prescott. And being the quarterback for the Cowboys in all these years, we know he's only lost twice to the Giants, and I was in his rookie year in 2016. So last time, he's lost to the Giants, and only once in between that grouping there in the last 7 years, basically, he's won every game, except for one, which he didn't play. He was injured for that game, and the Cowboys lost that game. So the only time the Giants beat the Cowboys, and we don't have Dak Prescott pretty much ever since his rookie year. But this is even crazy. This is what's wild about this. The last time the Giants beat Dak Prescott as the Cowboys quarterback, Obama was president. Black Beatles was number 1 song on the charts. Brian Dable was the tight ends coach for the Patriots, who's the Giants coach now. Tom Brady only had 4 rings. Patrick Mahomes wasn't even drafted yet.
Jeez.
Malik Neighbors was in middle school. Daniel Jones was a sophomore at Duke. Just so you guys understand, that's how long it's been since the Giants beat the Cowboys when Dak Prescott's the quarterback. Obviously, they couldn't do, even at our worst, they still couldn't do it.
I would like to continue that streak.
Yeah, let's continue that for the rest of Dak's career. That'd be nice. That's literally Dak is the Giants' daddies. We're the daddies of the Giants. Tell that to every Giants fan. But anyways, the big news is not, that's great. Great for Dak, great for the Cowboys, and we got the win. But the bigger news going forward are the injury situations for Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. Let me start with Micah Parsons here, because unfortunately Micah, we saw it towards the end of the game getting rolled up on his left ankle. He went to the blue tent, helped off the field, and then had some X-rays done and MRIs
had to be carted off.
Yeah, and exactly. He was carted off, and obviously scary there leaving it. He suffered a high ankle sprain against the Giants. Now, of course, there's a 10-day break now, a lot less from that game, from that injury before the Pittsburgh game. But even with that, guys, the probability of him playing is very slim to none, pretty much.
Yeah,
and
the expectation is that he will miss
Yeah.
some time
Now-
because of this 10-day break. Though maybe it's only the one game.
Yeah, it's
maybe?
it's a week-to-week situation, according to Stephen Jones. Quote, I think Micah is week-to-week. He said this on Friday. He said, quote, every player is different in how their body responds. So Micah is week-to-week currently. We haven't ruled him out this week yet, for that matter. We'll just see how things go. So, again, I know he's going to be out on the injury report on Wednesday and on Thursday and on Friday. He's going to be out. He's not going to practice. And he probably will be out for this game, or at the very best, doubtful or something. He's not playing this week, is my guess on this. But that's just on the initial numbers there, right? All things considered, right? This is great news for the Cowboy fans and great news for Micah Parsons, right? Let's be real. First off, I guess you could say there's a chance he plays the Steelers. We know he won't. But there's a chance he comes back. He'll miss the whole season, which was by far the biggest fear.
Of course.
The most realistic time frame for Micah Parsons is after the bye. We play, the Steelers, then we play the Lions, and then we have a bye. That gives him basically give him a full month to recover before we have to play at San Francisco. So
without having to put him on IR or anything like that.
No IR. He still gets to work. He'll be on the sidelines doing the cords, whatever needs to be done. So that's great fucking news to start off with to hear about Micah. Now let's go over to DeMarcus Lawrence, number 90, Pro Bowl edge rusher. He's out for at least 4 weeks. He's been ruled out basically by the staff for the next 4 weeks with a mid-foot sprain. Making him basically almost definitely going to be put onto injured reserve sometime this week. And then after those 4 weeks he misses, he's going to be reevaluated. This is the opposite of Micah Parsons. This is very bad news. Now, he's not out for the year yet, but we're getting closer and closer to maybe having to say that. Now, I will say this. In this game, he did try to come back in and play. He was ready to come back in. They didn't want to push it. But he was they taped him up and in the middle of his foot, they taped him up and they put him back in there on the field. He wanted to get back on the field. They never put him back on the field. So obviously things don't sound as good for DeMarcus Lawrence after hearing that. Stephen Jones explained that quote, DeMarcus Lawrence is probably a little bit longer in terms of how long he'll take. But all of these things will be situations that as we get our hands around them over the next couple of days, we'll see where they go. This was Friday, and I got an update on this. But just talking about DeMarcus Lawrence for a second, in a conference call, Mike McCarthy had said about DeMarcus Lawrence in a conference call that, he basically didn't sound too optimistic about his prognosis. McCarthy said, quote, both Micah and DeMarcus are getting second opinions. I think those injuries are specific to each guy, and DeMarcus Lawrence's is worse than Micah's. I don't have a specific timeline for him, but we'll get into that a little deeper on Monday. I do know there will be second opinions on both of these guys. So going into the weekend, we just know it's going to be a waiting game, seeing what's going on. McCarthy went on and added that, quote, both injuries are worse than anticipated, but it's still that he didn't offer any kind of baseline or measuring stick or anything like that for when they're hoping that either guy can come back, according to McCarthy later on that day. So again, McCarthy also stated that, or I should say, he did say that neither will be out for the season. So at least that's good for DeMarcus Lawrence. He'll be back sometime this year. But Cowboys, let's be honest, for this Pittsburgh game, we're going to be out. We're not going to have Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence for this game. Our top two edge defenders. So that's changing a lot of things there. Now, this is what happens when it comes to our defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer. How he's going to what is the next step for him? And it appears, and we'll probably know, he might speak more tomorrow, but it appears that the Cowboys defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer, is, not interested in a wait-and-see attitude or approach to the defense, and especially on the defensive front. At least towards the beginning of the season, we picked up a bunch of free agents, right? Linville Joseph, Jordan Phillips, we had trade. We poached Carlos Watkins. Nothing great, let me just add. But that's all he's given the allowance to by the Joneses. It's not his choice. It's the choice of the Joneses, Jerry and Stephen Jones. So both Zimmer and Mike McCarthy have been in this league for decades. They should understand to adapt is the name of the game in football. They got to step up and as coaches, and they have to have others step up in their place. McCarthy said, quote, it's part of the game. It's just a matter of when things like this happen. And it happened. That's so right. To kind of finish everything up, guys, here's the update. from Mike McCarthy on these guys. McCarthy today, he said Monday, right? So today, McCarthy said that defensive edge rusher DeMarcus Lawrence's foot injury has had a second opinion. It does not sound like anything has changed. It is going to be definitely a multiple week injury. Okay. We're talking about 4 weeks out and then reevaluated by then and seeing how much more time he's out. That's what it comes down to. But not out for the year. That's what we know. McCarthy said that they are preparing to play this week without edge rusher Micah Parsons. So, no, again, preparing without him. Even though he's not ruled out yet, he will be. I'm telling you, he ain't playing this week. So you Pittsburgh fans out there, you're missing the best pass rusher in the league and one of the best pass rushers in the league here with DeMarcus Lawrence for this game. Stephen Jones, I mean, he even spoke about the situation. He said that, quote, it's headed in that direction when he was asked about DeMarcus Lawrence going to injured reserve. And he said that Micah is, quote, more week to week. Stephen Jones on looking at options outside of the building. Let's put, why don't we, obviously we're going to be losing both these guys for at least 2 games. We know DeMarcus Lawrence much longer than that. But, now you have to kind of, are we going to go with the guys we have in-house right now? Or are we going to go with that whole, due diligence shit that they always feed us about? We know they're not going to spend any money on the cap or anything. The cap, too much money. Anybody out there. But as far as looking outside of the building, Stephen Jones said this, quote, I don't know this time of year that anyone is willing to trade their best players. It's just a work in progress. We'll keep our lines of communication open around the league. If something presents itself, then we'll certainly look at it. It's no secret to anyone in the league that we've had 2 significant injuries in terms of Micah and D-Law. People who might have an inkling to do something. I'm sure we'll hear from them if they want to do something. But for the most part, no one is willing to mail anything in right now, end quote. Which means nobody's ready to give up the season and give away one of their good players for a cheap trade. Which is what he's basically exactly. He's saying that, and we're going with our own guys.
By the way, just throwing this out there too, Steven. Absolutely nothing was stopping you during the offseason from adding to that depth. But even I have to admit, I don't know what kind of depth in the world is going to replace both DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. So, as much as I want to bitch about the clown show, this is one of those situations where there's only so much that they could do to help mitigate some of this hurt. It just sucks that we seem to be in this position again where we do have the money, we have the capital to fill the hole that needs filling. But like you said, because of the way that our team operates, along with the current circumstances, we're going to have to wait for other teams to suck more, which inevitably means that we have to also suck more.
Well, we're not sucking more. We have to get through it with worse players.
Well, that's how it's sucky. And that's how you end up sucking more.
And that's why we won 20-15 against the Giants. By the way, I just want to reiterate, John Luna, 23 points in the stream boss after the couple of drops. And Harley Dad is in first place. Tonight we crown a champion. Harley Dad's he's close to the top spot, but he's also, right now, 5 gifted memberships to Jet Li's 1 gifted membership right now. So that is up in the air, as you can see above on the board.
And Burn Bar, always.
Burn.
Gang.
Yeah.
So Thomas Garrett said, what's this I'm hearing about a Steelers offensive lineman being out for the year?
Yeah, we'll look into this more probably on Friday. Keep that in mind. But I do have a little bit to talk about the Steelers. Trust me, I hope the real shit's still here and the other Steeler fans, because we do have a couple more things to speak on. Important things, overview of what we got to look forward to in the Steeler game. But this is a quickie preview. This is not a deep dive. That's coming on Friday. That's where we're going to break down the injuries, and that's coming. The injury reports come out and everything like that. Kind of finishes up. That's where we're going to revisit the Steelers. But we're going to touch on the Steelers tonight, and we're going to touch on some of the injuries they may have. So just again, that is the update on both injuries from Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, and Mike McCarthy. I guess you can say, what about Micah Parsons himself? I think he was also...
Yeah, he did actually speak today. Did you want me to...
Yeah, since it is about his injury, right? So this is obviously a situation where I think... Here, my personal view on this, and we're going to, again, DeMarcus Lawrence, and maybe you're more than welcome to interrupt me or speak your mind on this, but because DeMarcus Lawrence, the thing about him is, even though it is, both these guys getting injured at the same time is, it's an improbable thing, and it happened. You can't predict that. It's no one's fault. That's not even a clown show.
Yeah.
But DeMarcus Lawrence is prone to injury. And the thing with him is that he is a guy that unfortunately can't really rely on for a whole season most of the time. And he just gets so many injuries. So he's at the end of his career. And yes, he still does a good job, but he wasn't doing a great job this year. He was doing a very, compared to some of our other guys, yes, an edge, setting the edge. But the thing is this.
It was a rough start for the entire team, but yes.
Yes,
it's not like DeMarcus Lawrence was like knocking it out of the park before
and he was doing his job, as he always does. He's doing it quietly, setting the edge, trying to help stop the run. He was the best run stopper. But, like Tyrone Church and a couple others said, who's going to get that rotation in there? Who's going to get those snaps? Because it's not from the outside. And all I know right now, and I'm gonna maybe talk about this a little bit more as we talk about the Steeler game, but to me, it's obvious that number 94 rookie Marshawn Nealon is going to get some snaps in there, heavy snaps. It's not. It's to me, it's a no-brainer that you're going to see Carl Lawson, number 55, getting a lot more snaps in there this week. So it is a downgrade. But I have a couple other thoughts about that because I do think that you have guys like Chauncey Golston that can bounce out and play. He's playing tackle, but he could play edge if he needs to. And he actually played very well, like a DeMarcus Lawrence kind of situation. So we have a lot of that kind of like mini DeMarcus Lawrences. I'd say him and Nealon, kind of like, but we don't have any Micah Parsons in there. So what do we do? How are we going to fix that? There's nobody that can replace Micah. So how the Cowboys going to attack with that? It's going to be very interesting to see. So when it comes to that, that's my first thing. When it comes to DeMarcus Lawrence, I expected this, and now we just have to got to do it a little sooner than later. We got to figure out Nealon. We got to figure out some of these guys that can get some snaps in there and see how they can do.
Yeah, and at least for Micah,
that's the thing. When Micah's obviously you can't replace him. You can't even come close to it. So, and we don't have nobody Overshown. I mean, he can't do it. So he can't do it against Baltimore. So what did Micah say about this injury? And we'll talk about how it's going to hurt. How we're going to look at this after we kind of review quickly the Giants game. So, baby, hit it up with the Micah comments first.
He said it's just frustrating for real. You put a lot of energy into getting ready and being there for the team. So being out, this hurts me because I'm letting people down. I'm just letting people down, and I figured myself invincible for a while, so it's humbling. It's part of the test that I was talking about. It's faith. You got to come back strong. And by the way, in case you didn't know, but yeah, Micah has been banged up. He's been injured. He's been hurt. He's never missed a game. I think the last time he missed a game was in like high school or college, and it was like one game. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Like Micah is
it's like middle school.
Very consistent. Is always out there. So yeah, I can understand why he felt a little bit of that invincibility. So adding in there, he said, it's just going to come down to how I'm attacking this and getting right with the head trainer, getting ahead of this so that way I can get back as fast as possible. I'm just trying to get back as fast as possible, but I don't want it to linger. So, again, at least he's being somewhat cautious about that, although knowing Micah, he's probably rushing to be back out there on the field. So let me see. So the only reason he's ever missed a game before this was in 2021, and that was due to the whole COVID protocol
That's right.
situation.
Yeah,
weird COVID year. So, yeah. And he wasn't even that sick. So he said, never in my whole life, I've never missed a game. I've played hurt and through pain. So to me, playing through hurt isn't really the problem. I was trying to shake back. I got into the office and Jim was like, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to go against Steelers. It probably makes sense to some, but when you're a real competitor, like I said, you only get 17 chances at this. And missing one of these opportunities to perform at the highest level bothers me. I feel like I want to play on Sunday. I want to play, and if I can play, I will play. To me, as long as I can run and move how I want to move, I want to play. So,
well, he's giving me a little bit of hope.
And then he was asked, of course, like, okay, but what happens if you can't do that? He said, well, it's time to man up. We talk about next man up mentality. It's time. So, and he didn't mention anybody specifically. Obviously, he's just saying that.
Right, just everybody's got next guy up. Like, that means Nealon and others got to step up there. So,
but that was it from Micah. Obviously, like I said, you can see that the injury situation is weighing on him. He's not used to being on the sidelines watching.
Yeah, so as we get into so let's talk about this Giants game real quick in the defense, and we'll get to the offense in a minute, and then we'll get to the Pittsburgh game and wrap it up for the night. But I do want to, again, you guys, leave your comments down below in the comments section if you're watching us on the replay. But if you're here live, we'll try to get a couple of your comments and thoughts. And of course, if you have something you want to talk about, you can drop the super chat or something like that, and we can discuss your comment or topic of your choice. So, anyways, any quick thoughts out there about these injuries from the fans in the chat?
As far as the injuries, Burn Bar said Parsons gets on my nerves sometimes.
Yeah, too much of that podcast shit, but...
So, let me see. James Hurst said, you know what can replace them? Stop. Oh, sorry. I think I said that already. So,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, by the way, Burn Bar also said, Terrence Steele stinks now.
Well, we'll get to the offense in a minute. But first, let's talk about the defense. And then stepping up is a good question. So, you know who the 5 highest graded Cowboy players were on defense against the Giants? Number one. Defensive tackle Mazi Smith.
Oh, shit.
And I talked about how good he did in this game. This was his best game he's ever played, in my opinion. And it showed by the actual analytical numbers.
No wonder he was the only person who was apparently happy and cheerful in the building today. Because it was actually kind of funny because most people are of our mentality, right? Like, this wasn't exactly a win to write home about. Well, Mazi had a lot of extra pep in his step. And he, was asked, like, hey, how are you feeling? He said that he's feeling happier than, he's ever been because he feels like he's finally carrying his weight. He said that he has to do it every week to keep up the smiles. He doesn't want to be dead weight to this team. Right. So I'm just saying, like, you can see the genuine joy for him being able to contribute. So as much as I know this game was not great, it is very nice to see guys like Mazi stepping it up, especially now more than ever. I
mean, he needs if he found his way, he should be happy even if we lost. Like if he found like the key to unlock that next level of play for him, then I can understand why he'd be happier. Let's hope he has to be consistent. I'm seeing, but he had his best game.
Bar confused in the chat. Yeah, we are talking about Mazi Smith, not Overshown. Mazi Smith is the guy.
Was the highest rated guy through PFF analytics. By the way, we also have James Hur,
who is the guy right now dropping a $3 holler through the Streamlabs.
Holler right there.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, James Hur. Do you know what he had to say, baby?
Hit me with it.
Here we go. I have it here. I'm actually happy Micah is out. He talks more than he makes plays. He needs to shut the fuck up and stay on the sidelines. He hasn't done crap this year besides let the Ravens and the Saints run down his throat.
I mean, again, he definitely has underplayed in that way, like on the statistical way. I think that he still has played. Micah has been our best defensive player on this team because he's caused other guys to have, whether it's easier times in coverage or easier times pass rushing. But yes, he hasn't made those superstar plays superstars are supposed to make. The way you see other guys that are double and triple team, them making those plays, right? So I hear you. I hear what you're saying, James Hur, who's up on that board now. I appreciate you. And John Luna's down at 20. So a $20 holler takes the stream boss away there from John Luna hanging on. But I want to, again, Micah Parsons, I kind of see what you're saying. I kind of want to see this team without Micah because I'm curious how other teams will defend us. Like, they knew how to, like, they had to fight. You get Micah, you kind of slow down the team. How will that affect us?
Yeah, how does that force us to change our scheme and not over-rely on Micah in certain ways? Does that also mean that we do have, the Mazi Smiths of the team, so to speak, stepping it up, and showing flashes of some good things?
And that's the thing, I think, as a defense, if we learn that we can win without Micah, and then when you implement him into the defensive mix, this could help us be better later on. How
much more powerful is that?
Well, I'm just saying we could be better later on, knowing that we can do Micah. We can just put Micah anywhere in the middle of a play and just wreck it, and have our regular 10 guys around them do their thing as normal. Because everyone's confident in themselves. There is some good that can come, and then of course there's some bad. But the point is, Mazi stood out to me against the Giants as one of our best defensive players, and rated analytically wise, he was. Also, to me, story of the game on defense was stopping the run, and who was the main guy helping that? It was Mazi Smith. He basically chomped that rookie, John Michael Schmitz. Remember we wanted to draft him? The Giants center. He dominated John Michael Schmitz at center there. Mazi Smith, let me rephrase, I want to make sure you guys hear me. He was consistently resetting the line of scrimmage, pushing it backwards, causing havoc and wrecking like the running lanes and abilities for the running backs when they were trying to run the ball, causing running backs to kind of stop running their feet. They had to redirect, And then where did he go redirect to? Into reinforcements that had their run gap fits right. So Mazi Smith did a great job. I mean, really, honestly, he did a good job the last couple of weeks, but the reinforcements were never around. This time they did, and they slowed, and that's what really, helped the statistics get better for the run defense. But the main thing is Mazi's more consistent, at least in this game against the Giants, at really disrupting that defense, the trenches and the offensive line of the Giants. So great job there for me. I loved it. I also got to give a shout out to. Well, first of all, let me get back to this. The second highest rated defensive player was DeMarvion Overshown, who, like you guys said, who surprised. Close second. DeMarvion Overshown had a great fucking game. A great game. So I love what he's doing. Continue doing what he's doing.
I agree.
Micah Parsons was third. Oso Digizua was fourth. And Amani Oruwari, the guy who came in there, was horrific, but came in there for Andrew Booth Jr. He came in there and he had decent, I guess, analytical numbers, but he wasn't very good in coverage. But I do want to give an extra special shout out to Chauncey Golston. To me, he's playing very. So he was playing at the edge because we lost Micah and Micah for a couple plays, but we lost DeMarcus Lawrence. He was in there, Chauncey Golston, and he set the edge very well. That's a good sign for that ability to maybe we might be worse at pass rush.
Yeah,
we may be better at run stop, setting the edge with Chauncey Golston on one side. Now, and I'm saying Moreland on the other, the rookie. And I'm sorry, not Moreland, but Marshawn Nealon on the other side, number 94. You got there maybe as a combo, maybe better edge setters because Micah's not that good at setting the edge, and DeMarcus Lawrence is great, but he's injured obviously. So you got these two guys coming up. You're not losing a lot setting at the run stop. You
realize, like in a weird way, and this isn't to say that it's a positive thing, but forcing our scheme to change. We might end up discovering something that works better than whatever our initial plans were.
And it could be the depth as well. When you look at next to Mazi, you have Golston. If he comes in there and plays and moves over the edge a little bit, he's very versatile. One of the reasons why the Cowboys love him. Chauncey Golston played well. So I'd say keep an eye on him there. Setting a strong edge, condenses adjacent gaps before he makes tackles. He does a good job at playing, again, so much better against the run. Chauncey Golston, not a great pass rusher, but very good against the run. For the run defense, it's actually an improvement in a way than Micah Parsons in the run defense. Just saying. So that's for, that's number 99 in case you didn't know Chauncey Golston, and that's for the Steeler fans watching and listening. Now, I do want to also say this. Zimmer, and I should let me take Mazi off the screen here because Mazi shined. I think he did great, and I truly think, again, it's about next week he has a shitty game against the Steelers. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying he had one good game. That's definite. Can he keep it consistent? That's the question I'm still asking. I'm not saying he's the best thing since sliced bread. He's great. He had a great game. Can he keep consistent and have great games over and over again? We got to wait and see on that. But I do want to also take a look at the scheme on defense, and that goes down to Mike Zimmer. And Mike Zimmer, guys, you got to remember, and against the Giants, he adjusted to the zone read very well against the Giants, which, by the way, stopped, a lot of the running yards. And we got killed by the zone read with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens the week before that. So keep that in mind, guys. Zimmer did adjust some. He had a couple of new wrinkles on defense in the scheme for the Giants specific, but the way we adjusted to the zone read in running plays and RPO kind of situations, the Cowboys, it was like a turnaround game. Of course, it's Daniel Jones instead of Lamar Jackson, but the Cowboys just seem to read it better.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing on the adjustment of the players learning it and Zimmer teaching it better. That's a good thing there. And another thing I want to say too, Zimmer and his defense. Listen to this: Cowboys gave up the fewest rushing yards we've allowed. You know how many? 26 yards in 5 years. Even Dan Quinn's best defensive days. It was Mike Nolan's day. It was back in Marinelli last time we had this good of a defensive stop, right? As far as rushing yards in a game, we allowed I think the Cowboys allowed 5 yards in the second half, I think, and held the Giants. Actually, it was overall rushing yards because you had a sack or lost yardage and other plays. They only had 5 total yards. I'm sorry, they had 5. They had 26 yards, and that was in 5 years. The last time we allowed such little yards rushing, but we held the Giants out of the end zone. As you can see, they had 15 points, 5 field goals, and we had to go to our cornerback 5, cornerback 6, cornerback 7. We have to go with the practice squad cornerbacks and stay alive in this game. Again, it's not a lot of positive in this game. I'm gonna be honest. Trust me, even if we won.
I know.
But
that's the biggest positive.
But that's Mazi, Golston gonna be used. He had a good game. I think the way that Zimmer adjusted in the defense, the difference between the way we looked against the Ravens, the way we looked against the Giants, and you can see the difference in knowledge of the players. They knew the play was going. It was last week against the Ravens. They knew the play, but they were a step short. Like they didn't know what they were doing. So it seemed to be bigger to me that it was something with Zimmer's scheme, which has improved. So a couple of good things. We know the bad things, but the good things that are on the defensive side of the ball. Now we're going to talk about the offensive side in a minute. But first, we got Brandon J in the house dropping a $4 holler.
Ooh, thank you again, Brandon J.
Big shout outs to him. What did he have to say? What did Brandon J have to say as he drops John Luna to 16 points on the Stream Boss?
He said the Giants trade Darius Slayton or Jalen Hyatt to the Chiefs.
Oof. Slayton couldn't catch a pass. So, yeah, I don't know. And Jalen Hyatt's too new from Tennessee. He's second year. I don't think the Giants are going to get rid of either guy to the Chiefs. The Chiefs, though, yeah, they don't have Rashee Rice, so it's time for them to start looking. They may make a move. I mean, good teams make good moves, and the Chiefs, they usually pull stuff like that out, So
yeah, and the Giants are basically always having a fire sale. So thank you, Brandon J. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm going to update the board here. Just hit a comment or two because I'm going to get to the offense here in a minute.
By the way, James Hurst said, I used to love Micah, but I no longer like him. He isn't the leader or the player that I thought he was.
I did like the fact that Micah was out there and, again, was, working on Trayvon Diggs' right calf cramp. Like, that's like a military thing. Those are like military brothers do that. That's a leader to something. A lot of people saw that. They immediately said, this guy's a leader. He's on his knees there, massaging the cramp on Trayvon Diggs, and he was obviously in pain. And then the staff got there and took over. So that's what you do for your boys. That's what you do for your guys. So I think that in that sense, he is kind of a team player and a leader. But yeah, when it comes to being more vocal in the locker room, maybe being that guy that you can rely. That's where more difficult things are.
The same way that those people who are waiting for Dak to just like take over this offense, it's not really going to happen. I don't think that those things that we want to see, quote unquote, from Micah on the leadership side of things, I don't think that's going to happen.
So,
now,
interesting.
The way that he inspires his teammates and stuff like that is by just playing so well, putting in that type of effort, staying hungry, staying bothered in a lot of ways, right? But I mean, that's it. He's not going to ever wake up one day and give some rousing speech that rallies the team, or you know what I'm trying to say. Like he's not
the rah guy. It's going to be
guy necessarily. Yeah.
No, I agree. And good points brought up by everybody in the chat on that. So
sorry.
No, James Hurst is 100% right. That's the one thing we're seeing missing, and I agree with you about. It seems a little bit like Dakish in that sense. So as we keep it rolling, and I did update the board, big shout outs to Brandon J there as he's moving up. Now, and tonight is the final tonight. So again, I know it's usually on a Sunday. We were not able to go this weekend. I had a cold mainly, and I had messed up schedule this weekend. We had taken it easy. So we're doing the ending today, but we're only having probably two shows for the upcoming week. So make sure you guys are on it Friday, Sunday. Be there, be square. Now, let me get to the offense here real quick. And I went the 5 highest graded Cowboys on offense on this team against the Giants. Number 1 on this team, can believe it or not, is Dak Prescott, who I thought had an average game. But he had a good enough game where he was our best PFF rated guy. Second, who had a very good game also, CeeDee Lamb. We finally got the ball back to him. Thank goodness, right? Third on our offense. We didn't have much after 2 touchdowns. So that's all we had. And then 2 field goals. But third on the list was Zeke, believe it or not, guys. Ezekiel Elliott was the 3rd highest rated analytical player on our team. 4th on the list, Tyler Smith had a very good game. And I know some of you guys say you don't like Terrence Steele. I'm not the biggest fan of Terrence Steele. He was 5th on the list here, representing the offensive line for the offensive performances by our team. Now, let me just explain why. Can I say something about Terrence Steele? baby, you know I'm not a huge fan of Terrence Steele. I'm not a huge fan.
I don't blame you.
I'm not a huge fan of the way the Cowboys signed him after he got injured, the ACL, and last year, even though he played every snap, he didn't play it very well last year, not as well as he did the year before. I need more from him, right? This time he went up against Brian Burns, one of the best pass rushers in the league, formerly of the Panthers, of course, now with the Giants. You guys hear his name at all?
It sounds familiar.
In the game, did you hear his name being called?
Oh, no.
Guys, he didn't generate even a pressure against the Cowboys. He matched up against Terrence Steele on 17 of his 25 pass rushes. So, like 80% of his pass rushes were against Terrence Steele. Steele has, again, did not allow even a pressure. And that's, again, now Steele did allow a pressure with other guys. He almost fell down.
But not against him.
But not against Brian Burns. Steele has now allowed one or fewer pressures to 6 of the 7 defenders that he has faced on at least 10 pass rush snaps or more this season. So, again, that means that if he might have faced a guy who got beat this game, he might have faced him 3 times. But any of the guys that he's faced 10 times or more, that's 7 guys. 6 of them, each of them only got 1 pressure. That's it. A pressure or less. So, a great job by Terrence Steele in this game against the best pass rusher for the Giants, but not against every pass. Because, again, Thibodeau ate up Terrence Steele, the quicker, faster guy. But Burns is the more established, better pass rusher. So, Steele did well in this game against Burns, is the point.
So,
now, how did our interior do? Because Cooper Beebe, right? He had to go up against... You guys remember who he went up against, right? One of the best Giants players they got on defensive line, Dexter Lawrence. I think number 97. But he's a good run stopper and a very good pass rusher. There were 22 pass blocking snaps in this game. 22 dropbacks. 22 pass blocking snaps. Cooper Beebe versus Dexter Lawrence. On those 22 pass rushing snaps, 0 pressures allowed by Cooper Beebe against one of the most established interior, best interior defensive pass rushers in the league.
It's funny because before the season started, we would have put Beebe as the weakest link on the O-line over Tyler Guyton. And, as of now, Cooper Beebe showed it right there. He's holding his own. He's doing pretty solid, all things considered.
Listen,
now, I will admit, obviously, playing center is a little different than playing left edge. Fine, got it. But it still deserves acknowledgement.
We got to remember, we didn't know if this guy, we didn't know if Cooper Beebe could snap the ball. So, again, just like
to go from, some shitty snaps during training camp that had all of us, clenching our cheeks to playing the way he's playing now in week 4. Yeah.
It's a big win, a late, a 3rd round pick like Cooper Beebe. Fantastic pickup. By the way, the best guard in the draft. Rated guard, I would say. But the Cowboys are using that guard skill and just making him snap the ball. Yeah. So now he's like the best center in the draft. Think about that. We got the best center in the draft, this past draft. So he's doing a great job there against great players like Dexter Lawrence. 22 pass blocking snaps against Dexter Lawrence, 0 pressures allowed. So, and of course, no sacks allowed. So by Cooper Beebe. So the defense the offensive line doing great. And the offensive line, the guys like Tyler Smith and the rest of the crew there, Zach Martin, they had a great game as well this game, except for one bad miss I think he had. But for the most part, the offensive line did much better than the last couple of weeks. So what happens? Oh, yeah. We actually play a little bit better on offense. Dak Prescott, he has 27 passes, 22 of those were caught. So, again, he was 22 of 27 throwing the ball. He had 221 passing yards, which is about a little below average for him, but who cares? 2 touchdown passes. Of course, both touchdowns were throws from Dak. And a 73.9 quarterback rating, which is not very good for Dak. And you can see that in the game. That's where Dak obviously did not have... He had a good game, average game. He didn't kill us, but he could have been a lot better. We could have scored more points if he had a better game. Mm-hmm. Now, you look at who we got back into the fold on offense. CD, baby. CeeDee Lamb. Now, he had 7 catches in this game. 98 yards and a touchdown. A lot. Now, for CeeDee Lamb as a receiver, that's a very nice comeback after a disgraceful
I guess
situation.
I'm going to say this, but, weeks 1, 2, and 3, those were just training camp.
A little bit.
So
I mean, he had a couple of good games, but
the regular season has started,
Yeah.
and CeeDee Lamb is back in tip-top form.
Yeah,
Again, I just think it's funny. Not like haha funny, but I just think it's funny that, yes, CeeDee Lamb missed exactly how long, but not missed, but he wasn't performing to the level that we were hoping to see him at those first few weeks. And that it happens to coincide with the time that he would have been in training camp working out those types of
a month,
kinks
right?
with Dak Prescott. So that's it. Just, a little poetic justice, I guess.
I hear you. Hopefully it continues, but the week before this, he fumbled a catch. He was a little off. A couple weeks before that, he was off. He was not in the right spot for Dak on a touchdown, easy touchdown he had against the Saints, and didn't connect. And we know it's CeeDee's fault. So my point is, much more involved in the game plan. He understands the situation very well, CeeDee Lamb, and it seems like everything is back to kind of getting back to normal. Like you said, it's almost like that time the clicking starts in training camp. It's clicking now. But again, not a lot of 27 passes compared to like 55 the week before. A lot less passes for the Cowboys this game. When you're winning, you want to control the ball on the ground. You want to run the ball a little bit. But I do want to say one thing. That Baltimore game, you remember, there's a video I put up there, guys. This game against the Giants, he was averaging 14 yards per catch against the Giants. And those 7 catches, 98 yards. But against the Baltimore Ravens, which we lost, unfortunately, the Cowboys CeeDee Lamb got fined by the NFL because when he caught the ball, he put his head down, kind of protecting himself in a way. But you can't put your head down and go forward, and he did that. He got fined. CeeDee Lamb got fined $22,511 for unnecessary roughness, use of helmet on that play. But in the game, no flag was thrown. Think about that.
Well, that happens. At this point, it happens. I don't want to say frequently, but it happens often enough that it's not like oh my God, no. But it does beg the question again. If it's hard enough to get fined, why wasn't it hard enough to get flagged?
Exactly. It seems silly, but that's the way it is. So I'd rather he gets fined than we get flagged. Let me put it that way. That hurts us. Doesn't hurt us in the game. They miss it. That's good. One last thing I want to say before I know that CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott spoke today, or over the last couple of days, but after the game, whatever it may be. But I do want to say one other thing. Our running backs. Our running back situation. Deuce Vaughn, he didn't even play this game, if I recall. But we had a little bit of Zeke, who played well, and a lot of Rico. A lot of Rico Dowdle. I want to say something about, I have Zeke representing Rico, I guess you could say. But the Cowboys, listen to this. 4 games. We've only run for 301 yards in 4 games. That is the 4th fewest amount of rushing yards the Cowboys have had to the first 4 games of any season in franchise history. So that's a really bad start to a season as far as running the ball.
It's funny because even I will take that singular statistic lightly salted, only because, remember, we have historically been such a run-focused, run-heavy team. I'm sure a tiny bit of that is just skewed in our natural favor. But still doesn't take away how shitty the run is. Like that, I'm not trying to make excuses for it. I'm just trying to say that, we are a team that tends to run more than not. Yeah.
So the thing is this, Zeke, of course, the quote-unquote starter, he hasn't really been the starter. It's been Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle, when you look at him on the list of the top 32 running backs in the league right now, he's ranked when it comes to rushing success. You have to have a minimum of 30 attempts. And rushing success means like first down, you got to get 3 yards to have a successful run. If you get 2 or less, it's not successful. On a third down, 4 yards is successful.
Okay.
Down and distance depends on things when it comes to success on runs. Rico Dowdle is ranked right now on this list at 15th rushing success. You got guys like Chuba Hubbard, Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Kamara, Etienne, Gibbs, Pacheco, Barkley, Derrick Henry, Zach Moss, James Cook, Bijan Robinson, Kyron Williams, Joe Mixon, all in front of Rico Dowdle. But Rico Dowdle is right there, 15th, right in the middle of the pack, with guys like Jordan Mason, Jonathan Taylor, Devon Achane, I guess he's his name there, Josh Jacobs, Ramonde Stevenson, J.K. Dobbins, Brian Robinson Jr., Tony Pollard is 23rd when it comes to rushing efficiency. Again, I don't know about after tonight's game, but he was pretty good at tonight there. But Breece Hall, and Najee Harris from the Pittsburgh Steelers on this list. Not very efficient when it comes to rushing success. So all I want to say about 15th ranked, efficient, successful running back Rico Dowdle, our true starter, He's giving the Cowboys basically league average production at running back. I'm okay with that. How do you feel about them apples? Is he dynamic? No. But he's getting the job done. He's giving us the average running back's production.
Yeah,
when we use him.
If you want pizzazz, that was for the preseason. That was for the off-season. That was for training camp. That was for literally any moment other than this year. So I'm just glad that we at least took our heads out of our ass and stopped trying to force things to the wrong guy. At least now it seems like we've fully established, all right, it's
Rico.
Dowdle is first.
Yeah.
Rico, everyone else is second.
Yeah. Rico Dowdle.
Figure it out after that.
Rico Dowdle is the most efficient running back, most successful running back we have on our team. Doesn't mean he's great. He's not. He's average.
Yep.
But that's the league average. So what I'm trying to say is this: if you put Zeke in some certain plays, you make him better than just Zeke on using him every play. You do that. Maybe Dalvin Cook comes off a practice squad. Although I'm going to be honest, don't get your hopes high, guys. I don't hear anything about Dalvin Cook coming back off a practice squad and being elevated for a game yet. But again, you get guys that Deuce, you get them for a certain reason, Zeke for a certain reason, Cook for a certain reason. Okay, but the guy you want there at the most consistent running back is Rico Dowdle, and that's what he's showing us. League average kind of running. That's all we really need out there. That's all we need from him. With the other guys around, you need a short yardage. You don't want Rico in there. You got Dalvin Cook or of course Zeke in there, right? If you got Dalvin Cook, you want to use him. You want to use somebody more as a receiver, maybe a little shiftier. You throw Deuce Vaughn for a couple of plays. But Rico can do it all. He can block, he can run, he can catch, he can do all that stuff. And he's the most consistent running back on our team. When the offensive line is able to block, he's even better. So Rico Dowdle, I'm good with him representing the Cowboys right now. Although, yeah, you can say let's bring in this guy or that guy. It ain't the same thing. Oh, and look who's in the house. Jet Li 44 with the $298 holler.
I appreciate you, of course, as always. Go Cowboys.
What did the man say?
Go Cowboys.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you again, Jet Li 44.
I do want to say tonight is the last night of the week for the. I know he's always interested. He needs to know. Currently, he is behind in the Cash App, and Pat Pfeiffer is in the lead. And today we will name a champion. Also, Jet Li, slowly moving. I think he's still in fourth place or third or fourth place on the board, but everyone's jumbled up there. Harley Dad, Marco Seppian. Appreciate all you guys in there in the mix. And Jet Li's also in that mix too. So we'll see what happens there. So John Luna in the mix, of course, our sponsor of the week. And again, we're almost done with the stream. We're going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers here in a couple minutes. And kind of, after the Steelers, we're going to quick preview and then roll it out. But last chances, I guess, for people to get some leads. Pat Pfeiffer right now is just a hair in front of Jet Li 44, I think, in the Cash App side. Jet Li's the Cash App king. He's trying to go back-to-back like our 90s Cowboys. So big shout-out to Jet Li 44 with that $2.98 holla. And that means John Luna goes to the lucky number 13 on the Stream Boss. Mm-hmm. So, now, I don't know if there's any quick comments outside of that, maybe. I know we got Ram in the house. What's up, Ram?
Yeah. Again, Griff181 said we should use Rico and Hunter as our 1-2 punch.
Hunter.
So, Aztec Aguilera 04 also said penalties on offense are still a big problem, and that's unacceptable. What the hell? The coaches need to get on the players more about that. It killed us against the Ravens, and we could have won that game.
Huh. Penalties are killers, right? I mean,
I have to be honest. It seems like our front office is more digging their heads in the sand and hoping it's a fluke, hoping they don't have to talk about it. Just seeing a lot of people from the Cowboys side of things, they're just kind of ignoring it. They're like, oh, we got bigger problems here. we got other things to worry about. So, anyway, just throwing that out there. Appreciate you, Griff181 and Azteca, sharing your thoughts there.
Big shout-outs, guys. Thank you. And by the way, someone else shout out right now is the wonderful Pat Pfeiffer. Pat Pfeiffer said, hold up, I'm dropping a $5 holler in here.
Ooh, thank you, Pat.
She wanted to make sure she took a little bit more of a lead over Jet Li 44, who she has a little bit of a tiny little lead now. It's extended to $5 and a little bit more. And a drop more. Oh, and we have Jet Li 44 dropping $5 holler saying, let's go Cowboys and get the back-to-back wins. Jet Li drops it, but he's still behind because of the drop from Pat Pfeiffer. She beat him to the punch. They both 5'd each other forward. So right now, still, let me put this up here so everyone knows as we're coming down the home stretch. Keep in mind, guys, the king is Jet Li, but we have a new king, a queen, Pat Pfeiffer. Right now, big shout out to Jet Li with the $5 holler. So you could say he jumped her for a second because she's just a couple pennies in front of him. But then, boom, she jumped him with the 5 on it. So big shout outs to Pat, big shout outs to Jet Li. The fight continues. Let's talk about the fight this weekend. And no, again, sorry, baby, you guys sitting next to the poop I'm about to put on the screen here, and I got to go away because we're going to talk about the Steelers real quick. The Schittsburg Steelers. When I say Schittsburg, I mean, look at their logo. I mean, it's kind of shitty, right? Listen, quickly breaking down, again, I'm not diving deep. I'm not going into injuries yet. I'm not really going into like matchups or keys to victory. I'm just looking at the Schittsburg Steelers, and I'm trying to see how can we match up. What are we looking for as we close the book of the Giants and open a new book here with the Schittsburg Steelers? So, Cowboys going on the road. It was initially supposed to be an undefeated team. Remember, the Steelers were 3-0. They lost the first home game. They lost the first game of the season. It was on the road at the Colts with the backup Joe Flacco. They lost 27-24 at Indianapolis. The Colts, they were up by a lot, by the way, 17-0. And they hung on to win, even with a starting quarterback, Anthony Richardson, going down to an injury. Joe Flacco came in, and he led the Colts to 4 scoring drives, threw a pair of touchdown passes to Josh Downs in his season debut, and tight end Drew Ogletree. So, again, a backup went against the Steeler defense and just surprised them. So, Flacco's ability to take care of the ball, along with Jonathan Taylor's, again, he got hurt too, the running back for the Colts, but he had 21 carries for 88 yards, was enough for the Colts to get out to an early 17-0 lead. And then really, what happened in that game, it doesn't matter who it was, Flacco coming in for Richardson, Jonathan Taylor getting injured, whatever, but they ran him a lot. They were out to a 17-0 lead. It put pressure on Justin Fields and the Steeler offense. And they're not a great offense. They have a lot of issues there. So The Colts kind of shocked the Steelers' defense, which the defense for the Steelers is their number one thing. So we'll get into this a little bit more. I do want to shout out a couple people in the house here. Because Jet Li 44 just dropped a $5 holler on it. And now he's officially a little bit, right? A droplet or two above the great Pat Pfeiffer. But he didn't stop there. He said, hold up, I want to make sure you got me good here. Jet Li 44 said, here's another 10 on top of that. So currently, he is basically, Pat Pfeiffer, we need 15. I think. Let me make sure. Yep, $15 holler to go above Jet Li on the Cash App King board by pennies.
There you go.
It's a battle. A battle's a battle. We got to respect it. Big shout outs there. Let me just make sure I got this right. Yeah, I'll make sure I got it right. Yep.
Well, you want to make sure you definitely don't have it wrong.
Definitely got it right.
Just
all right.
messing with
So
you.
yeah, no, we got it. And
a quick reminder here while Mr. MCF does that. Don't
course.
forget, guys, to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You guys can follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. And, of course, hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below.
Wow. So, right, and by the way, Jet Li is very close to taking, right now he's behind in second place on the overall board to Marco Seppian at the buzzer. A little bit more from him, and he may be in first place and take over the sponsor of the week, a weekly winner. And an extra raffle entry for him if he can jump over Marco Seppian. He's just jumped over Harley Dad with that drop right there. So, a little bit to go. It's definitely attainable for Mr. Jet Li, I know that. And he's in second place on the overall board as we speak. Jumping over Harley Dad. It's a battle to the end here. But let's see. I think I got another update here. We do. Jet Li 44, another 5 on it. Just to make sure he's trying to scare Pat Pfeiffer away. She's 20 back now on that Cash App Kingdom.
Hey, Jet Li said I'm locking it down.
He's definitely going for it. He's going for that win right now. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. We got to stop the show for another second. I know we got Schittsburg all over the screen. I know it hurts me. It hurts you guys to watch this, but she just dropped a $20 holler from Pat Pfeiffer.
Woo!
To take basically like a 50-cent lead over Jet Li 44. It's not going to be over that easily, Pat Pfeiffer said. Holy moly. Boom. Just like that. It's on. So in case you were missing it, and I know I've been a little slow here, it's been back and forth, but the king of the Cash App, Jet Li, had a 19 and a little over 19-point lead, and then Pat Pfeiffer said, boom, 20 on it, and takes a little bit, definitely less than a 1-point lead over Jet Li, and the battle continues.
Woo.
This battle continuing for our Cowboys and the Steelers. Fuck the Steelers. We know of the 70s, the Super Bowls. They got us 2-0 there, right? They had 4 and we had 2. And we ended up at 5. They had 4. They caught us. Now they have 6. We have 5. So we got to try to catch them. So F the Steelers. But let's worry about this right now, not the history. Right now. And that is that the way things went down is that the Colts against the Steelers scored 17 points across their first 3 possessions. If I can tell you right now it's going to be important for this game, baby. You know what's going to say, right? Got to get up. The Cowboys cannot have a slow start. We have to get off to a faster start to put the pressure on the offense of the Steelers. I know, but the Colts, who could not do this to anybody, was able to score 17 points in their first 3 possessions. 6 of their 8 plays were runs. So that's a key here. 6 of the 8 plays against the Steelers were runs. They ran 38 yards on the opening drive. All right? They had 5 of their 9 plays on the next drive split between quarterback Richardson and quarterback Flacco. But they stayed on the ground for 41 more yards on the ground. So the first drive, 38 yards on the ground. The second drive, 41 yards on the ground. Okay. A lot of runs. It worked. They scored 2 touchdowns back-to-back. 2 drives. And then they had a field goal drive at the end. It took 9 plays. They stayed on the ground. And there was the longest run on that drive was, I think, a 10-yard run by wide receiver. It was like a jet sweep type move. So jet sweeps as well with the receiver A.D. Mitchell. That's what the Colts did to the Steelers to kind of they ran all over them the first 3 drives and they got 17 points and took a 17-0 lead. You guys feel me? You guys feel what the key is here? Hell yeah. Now, another key is letting you know that the King, Jet Li 44, said, I got another 5 on it. I want the crown. He is now 4 and a little bit more in the lead over Pat Pfeiffer, who's coming for that crown as well. She wants her queenage. And he wants his kingage. So right now, Jet Li in the lead with a big Go Cowboys with the drop that just came through. So big shout out to Jet Li. He's back on top, trying to go back to back. Like who? Like our 90s Cowboys, not like the shitberg Steelers, squealers, as we like to also. Drop those emojis if you got them. If you're in the membership, drop those damn emojis. Now, so I'll give you a little preview of what's happening, guys. We are obviously going to have to run the ball against the Steelers, and you can run with the jet sweeps with the receiver like CeeDee Lamb. You can run inside Rico, Zeke, and others. You got to stick with the run. You got to stay consistent with the run and work them down. So, Steelers come into this game having they came into this game against the Colts last week, on Sunday, yesterday, having won with their defense. So, again, it was the defensive line they trust to make plays, and maybe they overdid that because T.J. Watt, fantastic player, one of the best defensive players in the NFL. T.J. Watt leads their defense as the edge rusher and lines up usually over right tackle. So that's going to be a matchup I'm sure we'll talk about. It's going to be T.J. Watt versus Terrence Steele, and that scares me even saying it. So that's going to be the primary lineups there, right? So Cam Hayward for the Steelers, along with Larry Ojoboy, are also all-around very good interior defensive tackles that can push the pocket back, shed blockers to make plays against the run. And that's going to be the big deal there. Jet Li 44 dropping the $13 holler. You know what that means? He's the stream boss now. Officially the boss of the stream. Big shout out to Jet Li 44.
Thank you so much.
With the takeover. What did the man say? Matching that drop matches the steel, the squealer Schittsburg colors there. What did Jet Li have to say with that $13 holler?
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
Let's get that 6 and beyond now and forever.
Hell to the now and forever, as always. Go Cowboys.
Thank you so much, Jet Li 44.
Wow, so he just, right now, guys, I think he is just a couple back on Marco Seppian on first place. And, he's the king of the Cash App. But he's the king of the Cash App 4 and a little more, not anymore. Pat Pfeiffer just dropped a $5 holler.
Woo!
And now she's up by just a little bit. That's a couple coins, right? No. She dropped another 10 on top of that.
Oh, she said, hold on.
She's up basically Jet Li's back Micah Parsons amount. That's to make it easy, right? She's up 10 and a little more right now. I'm sorry, no. She's up 10 and a little more on Jet Li 44. Hey, that rhymed. So
there you go. So Raul, Joey Arizona, Juan Carlos, Andy and Boogie. See all you guys hopping in here. Dave Brown, even Chop to Montana 808. Much love. All of you guys here chilling, hanging with us. Just want to give some shout outs to some people I see trickling in here at this late night hour for the MCF side of things. So
yes, big shout out to Pat Pfeiffer. She's back on top there by 10 and a little more. She may be that Cash App queen. Ooh, queenage. So appreciate both of you guys. Thank you, Jet Li and Pat, fighting it there. Jet Li right now almost about to take over on the overall board over Marco Sepien. And will our Cowboys be able to squash the Schittsburg Squealers? We'll see. But like I said, the matchup between Terrence Steele and TJ Watt, that's one I'm eyeballing for this game, and you'll probably be talking about that on Friday. Interior, they're very strong inside, like I said, with Hayward and Ojubowie. And the Steelers also, they line up with wide spacing kind of fronts. So they have a lot of linebackers filling in those gaps, but they like to spread it out, and they did this regularly against the Colts. And guess what? Sometimes you got to test that, right? Maybe you get to that, if you run the ball and you get there and the people are not, and the defensive linebackers defense is not able to hold their block, their double teams, if you're defensive line, or linebackers can't get in there and make the stop. That's how you take advantage of the run game, and that's what the Colts did. They took a chance. They didn't get scared. They went into the wide spacing of that dangerous Pittsburgh front, and mainly they basically ran between the tackles inside the whole. And they won most of those times running inside with the run game. The Colts against the Squealers. So the Steelers should have every reason. And now you look at the Colts as one group of guys and their offensive line. You look at us. They should be happy about our situation when it comes to the edges, especially at Tyler Guyton, our rookie, Tyler Guyton, number 60. He's, again, outside Tyler Guyton, he will see occasionally TJ Watt, but TJ Watt mainly goes against veteran Terrence Steele. Tyler Guyton, that's going to be another interesting matchup to keep an eye on. I already said Hayward inside and Ojubowie. Those guys are going to go up against Cooper Beebe, the rookie, inside. So all our guys are going to have trouble, other than Zach Martin and Tyler Smith. Everybody else is going to have their hands full. Terrence Steele going to have his hands full with TJ Watt. Beebe's going to have his hands full with Hayward and others inside, and Guyton's going to have hands full with everybody right now, the way I look at this. But I will say this. If it leads to a light box, if they start having light box against the Cowboys and they start spacing out, that's when the Cowboys must find a way to run the ball. You must keep the ground. I don't care if Dak got $60 million. Run the ball 60 fucking times. Not with Dak, with your running backs. So that is why I think you got to do this. You can keep the third down and 4, third down and 3. You got to keep the ground game going, the clock moving, and keep Dak Prescott out of obvious long passing down situations. You don't want Dak Prescott throwing a 3rd and 13. You got to make a tight window throw. That's an interception. You're forcing Dak to throw into a predictable offense sometimes. You can't do that. So, to me, you look at Rico Dowdle, key player for this game. One of my keys to victory. I can really feel it. Rico Dowdle led the way for the Cowboys in this running back by committee approach, and he's looked his best when he goes north and south. When you use Rico Dowdle and a little bit of Zeke early in the game to set up some of the play action looks, you can do that. And the Cowboys did exactly that against the Giants. And that's one way the Cowboys can avoid letting the Steelers defense wreck the game plan and make the Cowboys have to play from behind. So you guys feel me on this? Mm-hmm. Running the ball inside and even a little bit jet sweep outside with CeeDee Lamb. Rico Dowdle, the main guy running the show here, in my opinion. And you use a little bit of Zeke as well early in the game. You set up play action. That's the way you soften up this defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, you look at the linebackers, Patrick Queen. Okay, he's the linebacker responsible for basically, the underneath throws for the Steelers in coverage. He was caught out of position against the Colts quick passing game. So if we have a similar quick passing game We can play action and attack sometimes. The inside, their linebackers, Patrick Queen being that guy we can attack. Even Richardson dropped back to throw the ball, something he did only 4 times. He only had 4 throws before he got hurt. He completed 3 of them because they ran the rest of the time. But he completed 3 of those 4, and he completed them for gains of 11 yards, 28 yards, and 32 yards. So they are successful throwing the ball is the key here. Very successful.
Of course. So, by the way, Chalk to Montana always said, man, Zach Martin is getting abused out there, and Tyler Smith. So, yeah, I don't have the stats in front of me, but Zach Martin is probably at his roughest start to a season or just roughest season overall to date. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if it was week 1 or week 2, but, I mean, there was a game where I remember I kept kind of seeing it and saying it, like, damn, did I just see Zach Martin fuck up there? So,
yeah.
Was it? Well, I think it was against the Ravens where, and I think it was against the Ravens where we went over all the numbers. And, I mean, I think Zach Martin missed like 3, 4. Oh, it was the Saints. There we go. So, yeah, it was like, you kind of went through the list. And, like, Zach Martin had like 3 or 4 misses on his side. You know, Terrence Steele had like 5. Cooper Beebe had like 5. Tyler Guyton had like 3. And, like, it was rough across the board. But, yeah, when you have the guys on your team that are, you know, your veteran players, the ones that you're counting on even more. Yeah, and sorry, please forgive Mr. MCF. Remember, guys, he is still sick, still dealing with a lot. I know, and you know, you've been I almost said something that sounded weird. I'm gonna say it anyway, but you know, you've been putting your throat through some work, so
damn.
Lot to talk about.
I can't even talk back to that one.
I know, I had to say it just to fuck with you.
You got me. Oh, I can't. I'm trying to keep it together, guys. Almost
there. And Jet Li 44, by the way, a huge shout out to him because he dropped a $5 holler and a $2 holler.
2 stickers, it looks like.
That's right. Some fist bumping.
Ooh,
go
keep
Cowboys.
It up. Keep it. I'm trying
I'm
trying.
To go Cowboys. Thank you so much, Jet Li.
Jet Li is also trying. He
said the Cash App wasn't letting him send it, so.
Really?
I think it must be something on his side, obviously, because it seems like it's all good on our side. But thank you so much, Jet Li 44.
Try to get that fixed, Jet Li, because if not, Pat wins. You know, I can't. Damn, I don't know why that's happening over there, but we got you here, and he is on the verge of coming over first place. I'm trying to see here. He's very close. I think I'll have to do a quick numbers here at the end of the stream, but Jet Li's on the verge of becoming the sponsor of the week as well as the stream boss and possibly the Cash App King. Right now, though, it is Pat Pfeiffer in first place by basically 11 for Jet Li to try to take the lead. Anyways, let me finish this up, guys, before I lose my voice. I don't know. I'm going to try to do After Dark, but I don't know if I can tonight. I do want to switch it up, though, and say that when it comes to attacking the Steeler defense, Jake Ferguson coming off one of his best games of the season. Obviously, he only had a couple. But against the Giants, and he's going to have, again, probably his hands full in helping in pass protection. Not just going against the linebackers in coverage, but even though the linebackers can be beaten out of place, you know, Patrick Queen being one of those guys, they're going to need Jake Ferguson probably pass blocking a lot for the Cowboys, helping in pass protection against a very good defensive line, a front line from the Steelers. So the Colts, for example, their top 2 receivers, they averaged over 10 yards a catch, and they caught 14 of their 18 targets on Sunday. So, again, this is a game where the Cowboys need CeeDee Lamb to be a consistent number 1 wide receiver and kind of dictate the game for the offense, especially when we're throwing the ball. We talked about running the ball. It's very important. I talked about that. But passing the ball, CeeDee's got to be that number 1 guy. And it's up to the coaches to put him as a slot receiver and use him in mismatches. So, right now, I'm just saying, like, the Cowboy offense is looking fantastic when they run through CeeDee Lamb. So, to me, again, one of the keys, and we'll talk about that a lot more on Friday, is, of course, CeeDee Lamb against this defense. Of course, we got Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, but a lot of I think one of the bigger things, the run after the catch opportunities to move the chains and get first downs, avoid third downs, to me, is one of the keys to the Cowboys maybe getting those points up earlier on the board and putting less pressure on the, and making it a little easier for the defense, putting the pressure on the Steelers offense. So again, big time that we use CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb is used to dictate the game. I will say this, and this goes for the receiving core, whatever. Micah Fitzpatrick at safety, Deshaun Elliott, very good, sneaky, crafty safeties, can force the type of tight window throws that Dak basically makes all year. I mean, he's always made these tight window throws, Dak, one of the best. But you don't want to play with fire with those tight window throws. So somehow, though, the Colts found a way to be efficient against the undrafted cornerback on that field. And that's one of the matchups we're going to talk about on Friday. Undrafted cornerback, Beanie Bishop. Beanie Bishop. We got to attack the Beanie. Because Beanie Bishop is undrafted and he's on that field. And don't forget Joey Porter as well on that field. We can attack them. Beanie Bishop, he'll be whoever he's covering, the Cowboys may want to attack him, whether it's CeeDee Lamb or somebody else. But for Dak Prescott coming off his most efficient performance, again 21 of 27, so his most efficient game of the season so far, Cowboys should be confident that they can kind of basically replicate some of the success that the Colts did against the Steelers, running the ball, play action, and making sure CeeDee Lamb dictates the game, and we can attack some of their lesser. You don't want to go after guys like Micah Fitzpatrick or Deshaun Elliott, but you can go after guys like Beanie Bishop, all right, Joey Porter. So breakdowns and pass protections, drops that have plagued the Cowboys. In these situations, we don't have the time for Dak. Guy drops the pass, whatever it is. Can't have that shit against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just can't have that. Now, flipping it over to the other side of the field real quick, guys. The Steelers on offense. They're not that good. They were made one-dimensional for the first time all year against the Colts. Now, I'm not saying they're bad either. Let me just put it out there. They're not horrible. But they're not like they're not going to put up a lot of points necessarily. The Colts made them even lesser, dangerous in the sense of making them one-dimensional for the first time all year. Their offense last week against the Colts. So maybe we can take a page out of that playbook. So again, one-dimensional was not a good look for the Steelers. Najee Harris, when he was the lead back, he only had one utility player, Cordell Patterson, and Justin Fields. Those are the only three rushing threats they had. So a full-time running back, a utility player, and Justin Fields himself. Those are their three running. That's their three running threats right there, guys. Just so you guys know, Najee Harris carried the ball 19 times against the Colts. 13 times for 19 yards. So he can be. If the Colts can stop him, then God damn it, why can't we? We stop the Giants. We should be able to slow down Najee Harris. His longest run of the day was 5 yards against the Colts. Steelers also, I will say though, they got some rushing weapons back there. Kind of reminds me a little of the Lamar Jackson situation. We got to be careful because we didn't look very good against Lamar Jackson. Overshown didn't look very good against Lamar Jackson. If they replicate some of their things with Justin Fields, maybe there's ways they hurt us. I just don't think that also Justin Fields is even close in the same ballpark as Lamar Jackson running the ball. So, and I say that, not that he can't do it. He's very good at getting out of things. But the thing is, he's not really a guy like Lamar Jackson who's like made to run the ball. Justin Fields runs the ball when he has to, and then he's dangerous. So at receiver, you don't want him extending the play because then Justin Fields has a chance to hit some speed at receiver, right? George Pickens, very fast receiver, good receiver, their number one guy. Calvin Austin, very fast receiver. Both guys, though, against the Colts, were not able to go deep. They were not able to take the top off the Colts defense. And they were unable to get the Colts out of bracket coverage. That made every throw that Justin Fields threw contested. It made it difficult. So George Pickens matched his career high, though. He had 7 catches for 113 yards. Kind of reminds me of what Malik Neighbors did to the Cowboys. But they lost, the Giants. You see what I'm saying? So, and the Steelers lost by 3 to the Colts. So the guy that's going to probably have the big game is George Pickens. We know this. He's their number one guy. He'll probably have a bunch of catches. He had 7 for 113 against the Colts. 4 different Steeler receivers caught a pass that went at least for 20 yards or longer. And Pittsburgh went, 6 out of 15 on third down and fourth down attempts. Not very good there. That's that last part. The Colts did a very good job. Basically on sitting on routes, waiting. They knew basically they were going to be run to a certain spot or to like the first down marker. Hopefully the Cowboys are a little more creative than that. And at least the Cowboys can understand if the Steelers run routes like that, we should be able to jump on those routes pretty fast, pretty easily. Again, Fields also stared down his targets a lot, so we're going to talk about that. You put pressure on him. He looks where he throws the ball, Justin Fields, and he was a little late against the Colts throwing the ball to his target receiver. So again, a lot of these things, Justin Fields just making mistakes. It's just normal mistakes he makes. Sometimes they're going to try to go down the middle of the field with tight end Pat Freiermuth. Just another name to think about. We're going to get ready for this game. A guy who does get some catches. But these are the kind of situations that's the key for Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer, this is his strength of his coverages, his defenses. The Cowboys, even with the Cowboys depleted at cornerback, let me explain. With Donovan Wilson at safety and Malik Hooker at safety, it should be able to. We just got to keep him from throwing the ball deep. They have an easy job this game, so they just got to help. Basically going to help contest throws, make things difficult for Justin Fields at times going deep. But when the ball is completed to great open field guys like Austin, like George Pickens, it is more important that our Cowboys can tackle. Make tackles in space, baby. How bad are we in space when we make tackles? We're horrible at making tackles this year. So the Cowboys have to make sure. More important than one of these guys making the catch is the catch after the run and missed tackles for the Cowboys. Steelers, if they keep Justin Fields comfortable in the pocket with no DeMarcus Lawrence and of course no Micah Parsons, then they're going to be really comfortable using their quarterback to run the ball, to use Cordell Patterson out of the backfield to test the Cowboys' discipline in run defense. A lot of new faces having to step up now for the Cowboys with Micah Parsons out and DeMarcus Lawrence out. So there's going to be a lot of misdirection for these young guys on the Cowboys' defensive front. So a misdirection. A lot of read option looks with Fields maybe being used like Lamar Jackson. And that's going to be a problem for the Cowboys with these young guys having to step up like, Marshawn Kneeland. Like even Chauncey Golston, who did a great job setting the edge, but he hasn't really been tested through a full bunch of games at edge right now. So to me, it's a lot of question marks. And if they test us there, we either see it work, and if it don't work, it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens game again. And it's not going to be good. So getting the ball out of Justin Fields' hands quicker when he throws the ball is a priority for the Cowboys against the Steelers this week. And the Cowboys going to have to be sound in their tackling ability, which, we know penalty is an issue, discipline issue, so is tackling. It's disgusting. So the Cowboys, if we're going to have penalties, we can't tackle, we're going to get crushed in this game. The main guy here we're going to probably talk about on Friday in this defense for this game without Micah Parsons. I think the key player, baby, DeMarvion Overshown. I think he's going to be the weapon we may need to use against someone like a Justin Fields, kind of like instead of the Micah Parsons role. So we'll see what happens. And we'll talk much more about this when we know more about who's in and who's out. I know some of you guys said that there may be an offensive lineman for the Steelers missing some time. Whether he's out for the year or not, all I care about is this game. Is he missing this game? That'll be a matchup to watch for us and to attack with guys like Mazi Smith and Osa inside. If it's a guard or a center. So I'm going to say this when we talk about tackling. The last thing I'm going to say, last week against the Giants, you see the score right there. 2015, we won barely. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Against the Ravens, we had 15 missed tackles. Against the Giants, the Cowboys had 14 missed tackles. Now, we lost by 3 against the Ravens, but we were down 28-3 in that game, right, guys? So, missing tackles will cause us to lose this game against the Steelers. Even if everybody else, even if Dak does great.
Having that many missed tackles every game, it's just a matter of time before you lose more games than you win.
Yeah. So, that's the way we're going to leave it for now, guys. We'll get into this a lot more. Even though the Cowboys are not going against a remaining unbeaten team and the Steelers this week, a road win at the Steelers could go a long way in helping the Cowboys build a little bit of momentum and start to be taken maybe as more a serious competitor this year, contender, as we get deeper into the season and closer to our first bye. We got to play the Lions, and then we get a bye, and then the Niners. And we get, Micah back. And, so we can get past this game. It's a step in the right direction. We'll tell you about the matchups to watch, the keys to victory, and the injury updates for this game, which will be played on Sunday. We'll be back here on Friday and give you all those updates and more right here in My Cowboys Family. I know we got to put up kind of the score, I guess you can say, for the champions here that may be trickling out of victory. New names, old names. We'll talk about it here in a minute, but that's all we have to say. So on the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we'll have a lot more to say on Friday. So keep it here, guys. Here on MCF, My Cowboys Family. Now, as far as the final shout-outs go and the leaderboards go, I'm going to shout out a couple people right now. First of all, James Hurt did get on that board, by the way, on the Cash App board with his Stream Labs drop there. And Jet Li, he's the king of that Cash App. Much love to him. But, baby, every king needs a queen. And looks like the queen is going to be Pat Pfeiffer.
Ooh, thank you, Pat.
Pat's going to be the queen of the Cash App here, wearing that crown. And in the top spot there, stopping the back-to-back, like our Cowboys there. But stopping the back-to-back on Jet Li 44. Big shout out to Pat Pfeiffer. You got Jet Li, though, 100 points fully loaded on the Stream Boss. And then you have, representing right now, John Luna, the sponsor of the week.
That's right. Huge shout out to you, Mr.
Huge
Luna.
shout out to him. He gets a bonus raffle entry for our monthly raffle, which, by the way, it's going to be sometime next week for this month of September. So big shout out to John Luna. And he's also first time there, but first time also membership gifting king. Membership gifting champion. But that has to be given out to Harley Dad. First time he's the gifting champion.
Ooh, way to go, Harley Dad.
Even if he's a damn Niner fan. Shout out to you, Harley Dad. Thank you. He is the gifting champion. And it looks like our weekly winner, and I have to kind of check this up. It looks like Jet Li is going to win. It's like so close right now. I think Jet Li, I guess I have to give you the update on Friday. But Jet Li, I think he is the sponsor of the week starting tomorrow. So congrats to him. He just eked out a victory against Mark Hovsepian on the overall board. So big time shout outs to Jet Li 44. What are you saying? What is PayPal? Oh.
No, I had already.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. PayPal's another option for people if they want to. You drop in there too. I'm just saying. But and of course Cash App and all that good stuff. Anyways, it looks like we got our set people here. Looks like our weekly winner. Let me just double check it, maybe. If you don't mind doing the shout outs.
Yeah, of course.
And I'll double check on who's the winner of the weekly winner board and gets that bonus raffle entry. Is it Marco Sepian or Jet Li 44?
Thank you very much to Choctaw Montana 808. Dropping those squealer emojis. Who, by the way, he said, you said these things and Dallas couldn't do shit with Fields.
What now? I missed that. What he said,
you said these things, but Dallas couldn't do shit with Fields.
I mean, the last time against the Bears, we couldn't stop them, yeah. But, is that
I think that's a Streamlabs drop, if I'm not mistaken. From the man, Jet Li 44, with a $5 holler. Thank you so much, Jet Li 44. Much love, always. Go Cowboys. Not sure where that puts you on the Cash App side of things. Is that put him back in front of Pat Pfeiffer? Or?
On the no, that is currently, he is 6 behind Pat Pfeiffer on the Cash App board. So minutes away for Jet Li. I don't know if he's going for the.
Let me keep going with the shout outs. Yes. Of course, we have Jet Li 44. Much love. Roy Strassner, what's up with you?
Roy.
Pat Pfeiffer, of course. Thank you so much for being here. Stick Aguilar 04, who, by the way, was joking, saying put in Brock Hoffman instead of Steele. Raul representing, saying we need this win so bad. We have the Lions and the Niners next.
Yep, I mean,
Joey Arizona, what's up? Always go Cowboys. Juan Carlos, much love. Raul representing. Andy and Boogie, I hope you had a great evening as well. Ramesh, thanks for rocking with us here. Of course, the man Dave Brown, rolling through saying hello. There's our Griff 181. Much love to you.
We do go back home against the Lions, at least. That's good.
Brandon J, what's up? Burn Bar, gang gang. Thomas Garrett, the superior. Garrett. James Herb representing. Thank you for rolling with us. We have, let me see, who else is here?
We have that
Actually,
remaining
as far
schedule
back
right
as I
there.
can go. Come on, Carlos, thanks for rocking with us. So, baby.
Yeah, I mean, we have a fantastic finale here, but it looks like Pat is going to hold on to that win. At least at this moment, it looks like it as we're getting out of here. So, big shout outs.
I think there's a reason that we do the things that we do here on the MCF side of things, Mr. MCF.
Yeah, and baby, I want you to tell me what they are.
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Yes. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. Here on this channel, we always will rep that star over everything. And here on this channel for 7 full years on YouTube. Oh, well, we have a change here. We have a king back for his back-to-back against Pat Pfeiffer. He's up by a little more than 4. I think that's what it is, right? Yeah. So Pat's 5 away from taking the crown back, but it's back and forth
right
to
in
go.
the nick of time there, Mr. Jet Li. Much love, always appreciate it, and always go Cowboys.
Always. And big shout out to Jet Li, who got the sponsor of the week, got a bonus raffle entry for that jersey, sewn and stitched. That is going to be sometime next week, probably later in the week. But yeah, guys, we truly appreciate both Pat Pfeiffer and Jet Li, 44 Jet Li, fighting for that spot, trying to corral it at the buzzer. And you currently, yes, now, I have to show it on the screen so everyone knows, even though Jet Li is the king of the cash out, and we had Pat Pfeiffer jump in front of him, boom, just like that, Jet Li jumps back in the first place by a little over 4, and looks like he may be the back-to-back champion in the Cash App King.
That's right.
We'll see what happens. Big shout outs, and the takeover is real. Jet Li literally has taken over everything. As of right now, it's everything except the gifting board, which is owned by Harley Dad right now. So big shout outs to him. And yes, here on My Cowboys Family, here for 7 years on YouTube, going on 8 seasons here on YouTube. Here on My Cowboys Family, never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys! You see my shirt. Let's get that 6 and beyond. And thank you guys in the chat all night long for doing your thing, dropping your comments, dropping your thoughts. I see Pat saying, good game, Jet Li. And go Cowboys. Appreciate you, Pat. You almost had it. Jet Li, he really loves that crown. And he's the king of the cash out. Back to back like our 90s Cowboys. Let's go. Drop them if you got them. Guys, thank you for dropping your knowledge in the chat. Yeah. Truly appreciate your drops of love from above, whether it was the Streamlabs, the PayPal, we had the Cash App. We even had gifting today from Harley Dad Super Chats. Thank you all for doing that. And we'll be back again in a couple of days to give you the down and dirty on the Pittsburgh Squealers.
But before we drop out of here...
Yeah, what do we got to do, baby, before we drop out of here for the night?
We got to drop the beat.
The beat's been dropped, and it's officially a done deal here in MCF. Hey, Pat. Remember, Pat, it's not by month here, it's by week. So every week you have a shot. It's different over there. No, After Dark, it's monthly. Here, it is weekly because we got games every week, and we got another one coming up on Sunday. So looking forward to that. Fully loaded on that topic, on injuries, matchups, and keys to victory against the Steelers. Friday night right here on My Cowboys Family, assuming we have internet, and I'm feeling okay. And the wife feeling okay. She might be having my cold by then. Guys, you can be anywhere. You're here with us on MCF, My Cowboys Family, talking news, info, and updates on our Dallas Cowboys right here on this channel for another MCF Cowboys chat. And we had our Giants recap as we now talk about the Pittsburgh Squealers. We talked about them all. And, of course, the guys that are unfortunately out for our team here, Dexter, DeMarcus Lawrence, number 90, and, of course, number 11, Micah Parsons. But we got Mazi stepping up, and we need the rest of this defense right here you see on your screen to step the F up against the Steelers this Sunday. Let's go, Cowboys. Here in MCF, it's about that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything. Never, ever forget the number one thing right here on My Cowboys Family. It's you guys, the fans, the family in the house, 40,000 and beyond. Hitting that like button for this stream. Hit that subscribe button for this channel. And hit that notification bell so you know we're going live. Make sure you set it to all videos. And, of course, you can follow us on Discord, at Twitter, at My Cowboys Family, at all social media. And, guys, watching us in the replay, don't forget to hit a comment. Write a comment down below if you like as well. Thank you all. Stay safe. We'll see you on Friday. Peace out. And never, ever forget, Go Cowboys!